What's up guys, Chigs here from Chigs Tech Reviews. So today I bring you a head-to-head showdown between two kings in the budget smartphone world. Now these are two of the hottest smartphones you can currently buy under 200. So on the left we have the Realme 3 Pro coming in at £199. And on the right we have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7, which is currently available for only £142. So they are both impressive bang for your buck devices. However, which one is the best buy between these two, we shall soon find out. So first of all, the tail of the tape. I will put the specs on the screen so you guys can have a quick read. So as you can see, both devices have exactly the same screen tech, which is a 6.3-inch IPS LCD screen with 409 pixels per inch and a resolution of 1080 by 2340 with Gorilla Glass 5 protection, and they both have teardrop notches. Furthermore, both devices are powered by Snapdragon Octa-core CPUs. The Redmi Note 7 has the Snapdragon 660 with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage, whereas the Realme 3 Pro has the Snapdragon 710 with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. Now we've got Android version 9 on both devices with their respective skins on top. So the Realme 3 has the Color OS version 6 and the Redmi Note has MIUI version 10.3. And I have to say they are both pretty fast in performance. Now let's quickly talk about batteries. The Realme 3 Pro has a 4040 mAh battery and the Redmi Note 7 has a 4000 mAh battery. Both smartphones support fast charging, so the Realme has VOC Charge 3 and I'm happy to say the fast charger is included in the box. Whereas the Redmi Note 7 supports Quick Charge 4, but the fast charger unfortunately is not included in the box. Instead, you get a regular 5-watt charger. Furthermore, there is a 3.5mm audio jack on both devices. The Realme 3 Pro has it at the bottom, and the Redmi Note 7 has it at the top. But in addition, you also get an infrared sensor on the Redmi Note 7, which you don't get on the Realme 3 Pro. Furthermore, both devices do not have any NFC, IP rating or wireless charging. So that was my very quick side-by-side specs comparison. Let's begin with the speed test, shall we? Okay, so the first test is going to be the boot up speed test, but to do that test we got to power down first. So let's turn both of these devices off. Okay, so I'll try and do it at the same time so we can get an idea which one powers off first. So 1, 2, 3. That was pretty even. Okay, so we're going to do a boot up speed test. So at the same time, 1, 2, 3, go. So I'm pressing the power buttons at the same time. I felt a vibration on both. You can see the logos. So let's see who can get there first. So it looks like the Realme 3 Pro got there, and a few seconds later, the Redmi Note 7. So both not bad at all. So for the next test we are going to do the fingerprint test. Both fingerprint sensors are located on the back and they are quite easy to reach. So let's go ahead and see which one is faster. I'll try and do it at the same time. So ready? 1, 2, 3, go. So it looks like the Xiaomi was a little bit faster. Let's do that again. Oh, that was exactly the same time. Exactly the same time. And for the last time, yeah, the fingerprint sensors are exactly the same speed, which is great, very fast. Now let's check out the face unlock. They both support face unlock. So I'm going to try and activate them at the same time and see which one works faster. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, that was pretty even. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, go. So even. So it looks like the fingerprint and face unlocking speed on both devices is more or less exactly the same. So next up we are doing a disk read test. So let's test out the internal storage speeds. So we have interesting results here. The Realme 3 Pro has a much faster read and write speeds when compared to the Redmi Note 7. So now we're going to be doing game load tests. So we're going to load up some games at the same time and see which ones load first. So first of all, let's load up Asphalt 9 on both devices. So 1, 2, 3, here we go. So the Realme 3 Pro loaded up much quicker than the Redmi Note 7. Let's try a different game, and you'll notice that I'm leaving the games open in the background. So here we go, we're going to load up PUBG Mobile on 3. 1, 2, 3. It looks like the Realme 3 Pro has automatically started up its gaming mode. So let's see what happens. Okay, so the Realme 3 Pro is already loaded, and the Redmi Note 7 has also loaded as well. I would like to compare some gameplay footage as well, so let's get a game started and see what they both look like. So we're comparing the gameplay right now. So the Realme 3 Pro is at the bottom and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7 is at the top. It's a pretty smooth gameplay on both, as you can see, and they look very good on both. I'm going to quickly check out the graphics. So we're on HD on the Realme 3 Pro and we're on balanced mode on the Note 7. So I'll tap HD. So the maximum you can do is HD on both devices, and now both devices are also on high. So the Realme 3 was already on HD. I've just put the Note 7 on HD. So they should look a bit similar now. Is the Note 7 still smooth in operation? Yes, it is. The Note 7 still appears to be nice and smooth in operation, and it looks a lot better, a lot more detailed. So that's PUBG Mobile gameplay on both devices. And as you can see, they both perform very well on HD settings. I'd like to check out some Asphalt 9 gameplay, so let's open up the game on both. So we're checking out the gameplay of Asphalt 9 on both devices, Realme 3 Pro at the bottom and Redmi Note 7 at the top. And this is what you can expect in terms of gameplay. Let's use some nitro. So the next game we're testing is Modern Strike Online on 3. 1, 2, 3. You can see the Realme 3 has already loaded up, followed by the Redmi Note 7. So now we're going to do an app test. Let's begin with Google Maps. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Pretty even there. I think the Note 7 might have the edge. So next up, we're going to open Spotify. So here we go. Redmi Note 7 took that one. So next up, we're going to try BT Sport. So here we go. I think the Realme 3 Pro took that, but it was very close. BBC News. Even. That was quite even. So we're going to do Hot UK Deals. Realme 3 took that. There doesn't seem to be a lot between them speed-wise. They are more or less neck and neck. Let's open up the Argos app. The Realme definitely took that one. So now we're going to do an app which all of us love using, including me, YouTube. So let's open up YouTube at the same time. I think that was quite even. So testing out the YouTube resolution, you can do 1080p at 60 frames per second with HDR on the Realme 3 Pro, and you've got 1080p at 60 frames per second on the Note 7. So let's just play the videos. So the Realme 3 Pro is at the bottom and the Redmi Note 7 is at the top. So which one looks better to you? In my opinion, the Realme 3 Pro does look better. It's got HDR and the colors are really popping. So that was YouTube. Next up, we are going to test out Netflix. So let's get Netflix ready on both. 1, 2, 3. So we've got Netflix open on both. Let's go ahead and play something and test the quality. So it's interesting to note that Netflix HD is supported on both devices, which is quite amazing. So let's go ahead and check out the quality of both. So now we're going to do a sound test. We're going to find out which speakers sound the best. Okay, so here we go. We're going to begin with the Realme. Okay, Redmi Note time. So that was the sound test, and I have to say both of them sound pretty even quality to me. Do let me know in the description if you guys think otherwise. So now I am going to run a Wi-Fi speed test. So we're going to do it one at a time because they're both connected to the same router. So beginning with the Realme 3 Pro. Okay, so now the Redmi Note 7. So here are the results of the Wi-Fi speed test. So the Realme 3 Pro scored 43.8 download and 19.5 megabits per second upload, and the Redmi Note 7 39.9 and upload speeds of 20.6. I'm actually at another location, so the Wi-Fi speed is different here, and the top speeds we get in this office is between 40 to 45 megabits per second. So they're both giving us a pretty decent Wi-Fi score. So here we go, GPS test, guys. So this is an indoor GPS test, and you can see that we have connected to more or less the same amount of satellites, and the GPS performance on both of these devices are more or less the same, and they're pretty good. So it's time to check out the benchmarks. Beginning with Geekbench, you can see that the single core score is better on the Redmi Note 7 and the multi-core score is better on the Realme 3 Pro. So interesting results there. Let's check out Antutu benchmarks. And in the Antutu benchmark test, we got 153K for the Realme 3 Pro and 122K on the Redmi Note 7. Now, of course, we're going to have to talk about the build quality. Now, both devices are made from plastic. Now, the Realme 3 Pro is made from a multi-layer plastic body, which they're calling the Speedway design. And you've got curved corner design, and it does look very nice, and I do like this nitro blue color. Now, the Redmi Note 7 is also made from plastic. You've got curved corners, but you've got a more flat design as opposed to Realme's curved back. Now, both have a great design. Fingerprint sensor on the back with your dual cameras. Now, if we talk about thickness, the Realme Pro is 8.3 millimeters thick, and the Redmi Note 7 is 8.1 millimeters thick. So 8.3 versus 8.1, not a lot between them. They feel exactly the same in thickness, but with a slight difference in weight. Now, the Realme 3 Pro does feel a lot lighter. It's 172 grams, and the Redmi Note 7 is 186 grams. So that's your aesthetics. Now, if we look at the front of the device, we have a teardrop notch on both, and very similar sized bezels and chin. So a very similar build quality, but personally I'm loving the nitro blue color and the rounded back of the Realme 3 Pro as opposed to the flat back on the Redmi Note 7. Now, I know this is a speed test smartphone comparison, but we can't continue this comparison without talking about the cameras, because nowadays the smartphone is not a smartphone without a decent camera. Now, both phones have dual cameras on the back, but they are totally different sensors. Now, the Redmi Note 7 has a 48 megapixel Samsung sensor along with a secondary 5 megapixel depth sensor and also a front 13 megapixel selfie camera, and the Redmi Note is also capable of shooting a maximum of 1080p video at 60 frames per second. Now, the Realme 3 Pro has a 16 megapixel primary Sony sensor with a secondary 5 megapixel depth sensor and a front 25 megapixel selfie camera, and the Realme can shoot a maximum of 4K at 30 frames per second. So now I'm going to take a photo with both cameras and we will compare them on screen right now to see which one's better. So here we go. So here are some photo samples with all enhancements turned off. The Realme's 16 megapixel shots versus Xiaomi's 48 megapixel shots. It does seem like Xiaomi's camera has done a better job in nearly every single photo. Furthermore, in low light, I believe the Realme has done slightly better. Now this is just a simple indoor photo test. If you want to see a more comprehensive full camera comparison between these two smartphones, then leave a like and let me know in the comments below. So there you have it guys, that was my speed test comparison video between the Realme 3 Pro versus the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7. So the design quality is more or less the same, and it's subjective to the individual which one is better, and I personally really like the nitro blue on the Realme 3 Pro. So do let me know which one you like design wise. Now overall performance seemed slightly better on the Realme 3 Pro, everything loaded generally faster. The Realme 3 Pro does have extra RAM and storage space and also faster storage speeds, which definitely helps in the overall performance. Now the Android UI was equally good on both devices. Gaming capabilities was slightly better on the Realme 3 Pro as it does have its own dedicated gaming mode. Camera quality for photos goes to the Xiaomi Redmi Note 7, and if you do want to see a full camera comparison including video, slow-mo and more, then do let me know by hitting the like button and leaving some comments below, and yes, I do read all your comments. Now the speaker quality was equally great on both devices. Battery life seemed slightly better on the Realme 3 Pro, and the Realme's VOOC Charge 3 was definitely faster than Xiaomi's Quick Charge 4. Now the finger and face unlock is very fast on both devices, however you are getting an infrared port extra on the Redmi Note 7 which you don't get on the Realme 3 Pro. But all the other features are more or less on par with each other. So bottom line, here are two budget smartphones you can buy right now for under 200. Both of these phones will give you a great performance and allow you to undertake more or less any task you like, from gaming to taking great photos. Both smartphones are great bang for your buck all-round budget devices. However, at this price point, you cannot expect NFC, IP rating and wireless charging, but for everything else, these two phones are very impressive. Now there's not a lot between them, but I have to say the Realme 3 Pro gives you a slight boost in the overall performance. Now do let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite from these two, which one would you buy if you had a choice. And with that being said, I will leave the links in the description so you guys can check both devices out, and if you like one of them you can of course go ahead and pick one up for yourself. Meanwhile, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a brilliant day. See you in the next one guys.